Well, a little bit different. Hey, and thank you for clicking play, you and you, wherever you are. Yes, so thanks for clicking play. Sorry for the delay, because I do like to get these things out for Saturday morning, but my internet is being stupid. Hence, one shop, which will probably be better for you, so no editing. Let's shoot this. Hope a phone call doesn't come in and job done. So what I've got for you this week is some pickups, some quite exciting pickups, and also some news on another system that I've bought. So some of you that are in one of the Discord groups that I'm in as well will know the answer to the system that I've bought, so please don't give it away in the chat. Let's have it as another guessing thing, and I'll keep you guessing, possibly for a long while, on what system it is. Possibly for a very long while, but let's get into the other things that I've done. First and foremost, some fake cases. So this isn't from a pickup, this is something I've done. Yes, I purposely faked some cases. So if you remember the Acorn Electron that I got, and those tapes that came in sort of tape cases, but that didn't have the big box surrounds, what I did was, and I may do an episode on it if there's interest in how I did it, even though it's showing you how to fake something. It's not really a fake, and I wouldn't do this to sell, it's just for my own sort of personal shelf space. So what I've done is I've sort of taken the big box designs for these tapes and done a little box design, just so that these look a bit more presentable on a shelf and I can see what they are at a glance rather than having to pull out each cassette. So there we go, there's Starship Command, that's done there. Let's make some space, we're going to need some space today. We'll put these like this, we'll do a Dave stack, as I'm going to call it. We got the introductory cassette there. Oh, and on the back, look, I've put, reproduction case. There's no dodgy stuff going on here. Fairly easy to do, just a bit of Photoshop time. Chess is there. So these are looking quite nice, I think. Business games there. Gonna have to see what is on some of these because I haven't played them all. And Boxer, which I did do last week, episode on that. Interesting game. Grab those balloons. That's what I say. So while we're on that, I was hoping there was going to be 2 Electron games to show you. I purchased 2 from the same seller, but I didn't realize he had both. Ordered from the UK, and one is a game that I mentioned that I do have some unfinished business with, and I really wanted to get my hands on a legit copy. And this has arrived, and I'm pleased that this has arrived. Sphinx Adventure in a big box, and this cost me £3. Plus postage. But it cost me £3 plus postage to Australia. So I've done the same thing with this as well. Obviously that just came blank, which is how they should come. But I've seen as I'm printing 2 fake covers to a page, I just didn't want to waste half a page, so I did one for Sphinx Adventure as well. So that's there. So that's great. And do you know what? This loaded first time as well off the cassette. So I will do a thing on Sphinx Adventure because this fantastic text adventure game. Really looking forward to getting into that again. So that is, I think, quite exciting to have that in my collection. It sounds strange. How am I going to do this? Dave, help, I need your help. Ah, I know, what if I open that? There we go, fantastic. Put those there. Yes, I'm really pleased to have that again. So that's that. Now, what else did I get? So that was international, UK buy. And from the same seller, I noticed the following day, because he had a drop-down list on his eBay store, and he had another game that I wanted. This one took over a month to get here, and even though I ordered the two days apart, the other one still hasn't arrived. And it is a small box game, not a big box game. So it's just the way postage is with COVID and all of that kind of rubbish at the moment. So it's a bit unfortunate. So on to some other pickups then. So these are Amiga pickups, and these were from a guy in the Perth Amiga users group. So these were all local pickups. And this guy basically purchased a big bundle, but he wasn't interested in all the games, so decided to split stuff off. He was kind of selling them at eBay prices, but he was willing to negotiate. So I think I got a fairly good deal. So I basically got the 3 games that I'm about to show you for $100, which is, the way I'm looking at it is, because even Amiga stuff is hard to get over here, and you really have to grab it when it comes up. And so it's like paying $25 a game, which is about the going rate when you find them on local Gumtree or whatever. If they're in good condition, which I think you'll agree these are. And then, so the remaining $25, I look at that as, well, I've saved myself some postage from the UK. But also, one of them I think is a bit of a bargain. So I think I've probably come out even overall anyway, even without taking postage into account. And it's not the one that he thought was the more valuable, because he was just going, he's sort of new to the sort of Amiga side of things. He's more of a C64 guy. Just eBay buy it now prices can be really deceptive, and that's what he was trying to go by, which is fair enough. And the one that he thought was the one that was worth more, I don't agree with, but one of the other ones I think is, and I could be wrong as well. Let's get into it. So these are all games that I had back in the day, and I will do separate episodes on each of them, as I will with all of my games as I recollect them physical. So big box Chase HQ. I had Chase HQ back in the day, but you know what? It's one that I bought from one of those mail order club things, and I don't know if it was the big box version or if it was the small box Hit Squad version. I honestly can't remember, but it doesn't matter. So this is the one that he thought was going to be worth more, but I actually don't think it is. What is nice about it is it's got the original Ocean bag in there. Disc is in good condition. Got the manual there. And all of these are tested and working, by the way. I'll just throw that in now. They're all tested and working, which is great. So, yeah, the guy's name's Reese, by the way. So, yeah, got this on that. So that's the front there. I'm doing a bit of a Dave. Sorry, Dave. I'm not copying. It's just how you do a pickup video, apparently. So there we go. Pleased with that. Chase HQ, and as you know, I'm just trying to stick to the game. He had a heap of games, and I again strictly stuck to the games that I had back in the day, and also let some go because some of the more sought after flight sims were quite rightly quite expensive. F-29 Retaliator. Now I definitely had the big box version of those, and I definitely had this box, and I'm very looking forward to doing an episode on this. So I do love my flight sims, and this is a bit of an interesting one. There's some great stuff about it. There's some terrible stuff about it. But anyway. So there we go. F-29 Retaliator. Front, back. Fantastic condition, I think. And inside, you got the manual. So that's good there. And you got the 2 discs there. And I'm glad we checked these at his house, because you know what? We opened up the box and I was looking at some discs with some purple writing. I'm thinking, I remember them being purple. And that forced me to look carefully at the discs, and they're actually for F-19, which he thought he only had the box for, but was missing the discs. Well, he was missing them. They were in here. So we found them. So that was a good thing for him as well. So he's found his F-19. I've already got F-19, so I didn't need to take that off him. So that's good there. I think his F-19 box was in better condition than mine, but I don't care. This is the one that I think, because these are fairly easy to get hold of. This is the one that I think is probably makes up for the fact that I maybe overpaid for just 3 games. And yeah, I again had this back in the day, so you can see I'm wiggling around. Carrier Command. This game, and again, I'll sort of expand on this when I do a separate episode, but this is one of the games that even before I had an Amiga, I would watch demos of this or people playing it in an independent computer store, and it just blew me away, and I had to have this game. When I eventually got my Amiga, it was forever before I even bothered buying a copy of this. And again, I'm pretty sure it was one of the last games I in fact bought when I thought, might as well finally buy it. I can't remember if I actually bought it from my favorite independent store, or if I actually bought this from one of the mail orders. What I'm pretty sure of, and I'll show you, look, front, back, fantastic condition. Let's have a look inside, because this is quite interesting. I was going to save this when I do a separate episode, but I'm going to actually talk about it now. Disc with gold print, lovely. Manual, I'm purposely putting the rest of the box down. So we've got the manual, and I don't remember it being this. It's a really nice sort of textured feel to the manual, sort of a dossier feel. So that's great. I don't remember it being like that. And we've got the pamphlet in there as well. And I certainly don't remember this. And maybe it's just that I'd completely forgotten. But what's inside here is a cassette. And what's on the cassette, according to the cassette, he says, straining his mid-40s eyes, is stereo extended version. Oh yeah, Carrier Command theme. So it's a theme tune on audio cassette format. I don't remember that. So I've got a feeling, look, I definitely had this game, and it was a game, I'll talk more about the game itself when I do a separate episode, but I don't remember having that in the pack. So what I'm suspecting is maybe I did have like a later release, that didn't include it, or maybe it was a smaller box release, possibly from mail order. I really can't remember. Look, I'd be lying if I said I could remember that clearly. I definitely had the game, but I seriously don't remember having that audio cassette, and I don't remember the manual feeling that nice in that kind of special kind of print. So I'm really pleased. So I think that's the collectible out of these three, to be honest. I could be wrong. Maybe these are a dime a dozen and they're everywhere, but yeah, for me, that's quite an interesting find, and I'm really happy with that. Right, okay. No, she's out in the garden. Okay, so it's my wife's birthday. So this isn't a pickup for me. It's my wife's birthday this coming week. I bought her something, and this is a bit of it's a bit tongue-in-cheek. I've bought her other presents as well, because this isn't a serious present. But what I've bought her, and this is one of the modern ones, but I've bought her an N64 controller, and I know she's going to go, you idiot, when I give her this, because, okay, the story behind this is, back in the day, see, her birthday's in September, obviously. My birthday's in November. And back in the day when the N64 was coming out, I really wanted one for my birthday, obviously, for the GoldenEye pack. And to ensure that she knew exactly what she had to get me for my birthday, I bought her an N64 controller for her birthday. So we had a red, I couldn't find a red one, so I've got her a yellow one this time. I bought her a red N64 controller for her birthday in September to force her hand to buy me an N64 with GoldenEye and another controller in November, so that we could then play GoldenEye together, which worked really well. And look, she actually really loved the N64. She ended up we played GoldenEye together, we played Beetle Adventure Racing, and Mario Kart, all sorts of things. Good times. So yeah, I know she'll see it in the right light, but it's a bit cheeky. So, because obviously we've got the N64 now in GoldenEye, but we only have one controller, which doesn't work very well. So yeah, one of the sort of cheap modern ones. Apparently they don't last as long as the originals, but how long does it need to last? So a bit of a joke present there, and it was fairly cheap. From 8-Bit Anarchy down in Midland, so if you're in Perth, do check him out. No affiliation, just a really nice bloke, to be honest. Yeah, so the other system that I bought, so I need to tell you, okay, let's put it this way. I'll tell you what it is, but I won't tell you exactly what it is. And you're going to think, well, we know what it is, but do you? Okay. And again, if you're in the Discord channel that you know I'm involved in, don't give it away. Okay. So I want people to put in the comments what they think it is that I've bought. It is a Spectrum. It is a Sinclair Spectrum. Okay. Now, so as you know, I had a +3 back in the day, but let's go right back. When I originally ended up with an Acorn Electron, what I really wanted was a rubber keyed 48K Spectrum. So that's one kind of on my list, even though I never owned it, because I really want to own a rubber keyed 48K Spectrum at some point. Because those are the first ones I played on at my friend's house. And so I have a lot of nostalgia for those, even though I never owned one. So it could be a rubber 48K. I did have a play on a ZX81, and they're a piece of history, but I only ever touched one once. Is there nostalgia attached? Yeah. So there's that. Now, as you know, my brother bought me a +3 for my birthday. And you know I want a +3, so it could potentially be a +3. But let me unfuzzy you on something. Even though I had a +3, I had the discs that it came with. It came with 2 discs, which had about 6 games each on them. So I had a lot of games on just those 2 discs that it came with. And then I had another, I think only 2 other games on disc I only ever ended up buying. The rest were actually on audio cassette, okay? And I loaded off the audio cassettes. When my brother bought me that +3, obviously I was over the moon with it, but by that time what I actually wanted was a +2. And especially because you could get the 007 pack with the gun. A lot of those have been coming up on eBay, complete, boxed, everything. But also, because you can shove a GoTech in a +3, the +3 prices have really shot through the roof, whereas the +2 prices, you can get them for like £50 quite easily. So back in the day, I actually really wanted a +2. Most of the games I want to recollect are on audio cassette anyway. And I've been looking into the fact that yes, I can plug a phone in the back, depending on which model, and you can make a small mod to any of the models anyway. So I could load from a phone app as well if the tape deck starts to fail loading. Did I buy a +2? Did I buy a +3? The other thing, as you know, is the second round of the Spectrum Next Kickstarter, which if you were going to buy a Spectrum and you wanted it to be kind of future-proof, well, that would be the one to go because it's a new old machine, if that makes sense. But obviously, any of those other ones that I've just mentioned, you could buy a reconditioned one or recondition it yourself. That's, of course, a possibility. So, and again, with the Spectrum Next, you have the option of loading off of SD card, but also you can load off of audio cassette as well. And I do want to reconnect the games that I had physically. And I won't do any of them on an episode until I have a physical copy in my hands. That's my promise to you guys. So did I buy Next? Did I put in a pre-order for the Next? What I can tell you is the money's spent. The machine is mine. I will not see the machine for a long time. Potentially towards the end of next year. I don't know. Yet to be seen. So I'll leave you with that. I've bought a Spectrum. What Spectrum have I bought? What did I actually decide to go for out of all of those? All right, stay safe, guys. And I think, so long as my internet is working again, I think I've got something fairly special planned for you for next week. And hopefully my Missing Electron game will turn up as well. So, all right, thanks, guys. Stay safe. Take it easy.